Hey everybody, welcome back. Stella from Stella's Knife Obsession. Today we have two decas on the table because welcome to another episode of Who Wore It Better. That's why. Let's get started. So first I wanted to talk about these two versions of the deca, the by Hogue. Um, it is an Elshowitz design. This one is in CPM Magna Cut. So I'm already gonna say there's no competition as far as the steel goes. There's zero competition. So like every other who wore it better, this one does not depend on the steel. Now if it did, I would go with Magna Cut every single day of the week, 24/7, 365. So this one is 20 CV, which is an amazing steel, and still it's a super steel. But this is better. In my uh, knowledge, it's better. I've done some reading on Magna Cut, and I want to try it so bad because I don't have anything with that steel on it yet, and I just can't wait to give it a shot because it's just, it just seems amazing. I've seen some cut tests, some just some batoning even done with it, and it just seems to be an amazing steel, so I can't wait to get my hands on some. Anyway, today is all about the Hogue Deca looks. These two are 100% equals in size, and I think one may be a little tiny bit heavier than the other, but it's only because the difference in the uh, material they used for the handles. So we'll get that aside. We'll put that aside now. They both have the same milling in the handles, so it's easier to see it probably on video here. It's pretty cool. It's grippy and it makes for just pretty nice ergos, I guess. Because your fingers just kind of they lay in the little grooves, so it's just very comfortable, I think. Now this one is the one that would be heavier because this is actually G10. This one is FRN, I want to say, but we'll get to that in a minute. This one has, they both have the same clip too, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. So we're basically looking at 100% equals minus the fact that there's different steels. This is DLC coded too, so that's, but there's no, the only thing I would use concerning the DLC is the color. So when it gets down to it though, I like the thumb studs on both of them. They're exactly the same, so that's, they cancel each other out basically. They are both a reverse tanto. They are both compound grind. Both grinds are flat. I really love that about this grind, because it's so unnecessary, but it's so beautiful at the same time. And also, it helps in the fact that they are on slight angles. So if you're going straight down and you require a flat grind, it's cool because there's no angle, so you can just push straight down with the cut. And then you have this flat on an angle so that if you are going, at an angle, it will help you in that aspect. So if you ask why, that is why. So I like to make that dumb little joke. But why? Why do you need two flat grinds on one blade? Well, that's why. Also, I think that they left one, and typically I find this to be true with many compound grinds. If you really were to take, calipers and test the edge behind the edge, it's a lot. Well, you can tell the difference with your fingers. This one's thinner behind the edge, and this one's a little bit thicker behind the edge. So there's also that. If you need a little bit more beef, then you would use this bottom flat grind. So it just makes sense in a few different ways. Now, as far as the blades go and the coloring, I really love the fact that this has this beautiful stone wash. Now, this is Richard uses his knives, so you can't fault him for it. This stuff is amazing too. I know I'd be putting it to the test as soon as I got my hands on it too. But yeah, their stone washing is absolutely beautiful. So I really am a big fan of Hogue's stone wash. But I also love this colorway that they've used on this knife. I think it's beautiful. It's kind of got this gray thing, like layers of gray texturing, or I should say it looks like a texture, but you can't feel it, so it's not a texture. But this coloring here is like a gray, and then there's kind of like this light tan right here, or maybe even I would call this, if I were to put a name to this whole pattern here, I would call it I would call it acidic camo. That's what I would call it. Or LSD camo, not acidic. All right. LSD camo versus straight blue. And we're talking Ben Blue. Everybody knows what Ben Blue is. This is Ben Blue. If you don't know what Ben Blue is, you do now. All right. So you have the Ben Blue in this material that, I'm gonna be quite honest with you, Hogue does not do FRN very well. FRN is already a pretty crappy material to use, but to use it on a knife with Magna Cut, I feel is sacrilegious. I feel like Hogue, went wrong, just bat crazy wrong putting this material on this knife. They did it so that they could sell this steel at 120 bucks, because this cost a penny, I bet you. I mean, I could almost guarantee this is a dollar's worth, if not less, of material. So you're spending what I think the price online is 129 or something. You're spending $129 on steel, and that is it. They've already had these Axis style locks ready to go. So and their Axis style locks are pretty amazing too, by the way. And also because of that, this is the lighter of the two, which in turn actually makes it feel blade heavy, and I don't really care for that. It does have a really good balance in most people's eyes, or is from what I gather online, a lot of people like um, knives that weigh, that you can, let's see, you can center with your finger. Now you can do that, and that's just fine, but I still feel like it's blade heavy, and I hate that feeling. I would prefer that in my, this is strictly all my opinion, you guys. You don't have to agree with it. That's totally fine. I love that about being a different person in this world, because we're full of our own opinions, and we're allowed to be full of our own opinions. So I prefer the weight to be on two fingers, though, or if you did it on one finger, it is a little bit further down. Now the reason being is because the Axis style lock, I just feel like I get better momentum with it, so it deploys, and it closes up a lot easier, in my opinion. Like using that, this one you have to really give it a swing with the top of the knife, because it's just so light down here. It's weird that the weight is so centered, because it just feels so blade heavy. It's crazy. So, but the looks, well, as you can see, they both have the swedge. The only difference between the blades is the DLC coating, and that's it. The stonewash is beautiful, but because this has the rest of this colorway on it, I would go with the black coating, the DLC. I would love to have one of these stonewash blades on one of these to see what it looks like. You know, I don't know. I feel like it probably would end up still looking better with the black. I do love the fact that they used black hardware on the blue. At least it kind of makes the color pop. But honestly, I don't know. I just don't know. Here, listen to this sound though. Wait. So there's a sound that I love that comes out of that, and it's strictly because of this material. So I'll show you. This is just, you can hear it's solid. You know, there's no, this has like a hollow feeling. So it kind of makes a hollow sound. I like the sound, I won't lie. It's a really cool sound. But altogether, this one just feels solid. And every single day of the week, I would choose this Hogue over this, just because it's just a solid, more solid choice, period. It looks better, it feels more solid, and if steel was not a factor, this just has every single bit of every look going for it. This LSD camo that I just coined the phrase. Yeah, I'm trying to coin some phrases over here. Yeah, I'm stupid, but it just looks good. I think it's really, really good looking. Um, I I would love to get some Magna Cut in my collection, because I would love to just put that stuff to the test. I don't know what I would do, but I would buy a bunch of stuff to just cut it up, you know? So if this knife had this sound, oh man, forget about it. It would win all day, every day. If it even had the sound, I would probably pick that steel over this steel. So, yeah, very cool sound, very cool knives altogether. They're very cool, don't get me wrong. But I feel as though this knife strictly lost because of the material this handle was made out of. This takes it home. I mean, this is what wins my money. If I'm gonna go shopping for a knife online and these are my two choices, I'm buying this every day. So I guess today the clear winner is the 20 CV version of the Hogue Deca. Yeah. Since there's not another way to decipher between the two, we'll decipher it using the steel. But this is the 20 CV. This is the Magna Cut. I would definitely go with this look over this look any day. So, what do you guys think? Leave your comments below. I'm really interested to hear what your opinion is, and let's talk about it down below and let me know. See you soon.